Hi. So I just want to give my tips out there on how to pass the NCLEX. Disclaimer, this is what worked for me, so it may or may not work for you, but this is just my advice. So I took the NCLEX about a month ago and I passed in 75 questions. And this is how I did it. And the number one resource I will have to give thanks to is UWorld. I think you guys should check it out and see for yourselves. Watch more of these videos and determine what you think will work for you. So first of all, UWorld, it is just a test bank. It has over 1,900 questions for you to practice with. They have all different kinds of questions, multiple choice, select all that apply, hotspots, put things in order, you name it. What worked for me with UWorld is using it in tutor mode. Why? Because when I put things in tutor mode, I get the correct answer right after I choose what I think it is. I noticed that if I just did timed all the way through, I would get really lazy to look back on the right answers and see what I missed and why I missed them. Doing tutor mode helped me to really look at the answer right after I choose it. And even though it takes me longer to finish the whole test, it definitely lets me know that I'm taking my time and fully understanding the rationale to each question. I really like that every answer is a thorough rationale. You don't really have to look up anything else. You don't have to look it up in your textbooks. You don't have to look it up on Google. Everything you need to know for that answer to understand it is right there. They give you a paragraph almost, and sometimes even more than a paragraph, and they will tell you why the other answers are not the correct answer. And at the end of it, they summarize everything into like one sentence. My suggestion is to do 75 questions at a time because the minimum you can get on the NCLEX is 75 questions. So it's best to practice 75 questions at a time just so you get a feel of what the test is really like. UWorld also comes with 2 self-assessments, and I will tell you that when I took the first self-assessment, I pretty much breezed through it and I ended up getting a borderline passing score, which scared me a lot. But after that, it made me work even harder and focus more on the questions. So when I did take the second assessment, I actually got a high chance of passing. UWorld suggests you take these assessments 2 weeks before your test. Personally, I think it's best to take the first assessment 1 week before and have 3 to 4 days afterwards for doing some more of the questions, and then 2 days before or 3 days before, go ahead and take the second assessment. That way, most likely, you should be doing better than your first assessment, and when you get that feeling that you are going to pass, it just helps you be more confident as you get closer to your day that you take the test. Other resources that I used, I actually paid for Kaplan, and I don't know if I regret it. I still think it was a factor in me understanding the whole NCLEX process. Kaplan was good for videos. Like if you really want to learn content, they have a lot of videos that you can just watch because I'm not much of a reader. I don't like to read things a lot. So if you don't like to read and study the content, I think it's good to have the videos there to help you understand and have someone lecture you basically. Another thing that Kaplan was good for was the live tutoring. You can either choose to do an in-class session with an instructor or a webcam session where it's live and you basically go over questions and you go over the strategies. And I do like the strategies Kaplan provided, but I think that I would have still passed without them. So Kaplan is just good to get your mind ready for the NCLEX, I would say. But when it comes to actually answering questions and the content, I would definitely recommend UWorld. Another thing that I also used was the Saunders book, and I think it's nice to have while you're in nursing school because everything is separated by subject. I would say if you are really struggling with a subject, that Saunders book is really good to look into. Everything is in bullet points, it's in summary, it's very easy to read, but the thing is the questions that they have are after every chapter and they only focus on that chapter. So if you read one chapter and you take the questions, you're gonna do pretty well because you just read that chapter. I think if you have a lot of time on your hands and if you're planning to take your NCLEX way down the road, go ahead and use the Saunders book just for extra comfortability for helping you pass. But overall, UWorld was the way to go for me. And last tips is the day before your test, definitely don't do anything test related. I would definitely relax. Personally, I went out and I watched a movie and I went out to eat, and I didn't think about the test much. And when I walked into the testing day, I felt like I was ready, and I want you guys to feel ready also. And I mean, not everyone will feel ready, and there's always that slight bit of doubt, but I think you guys can pass if you just focus and set time aside and be well managed with your review. Let me know what worked for you guys, because it's always interesting to find out all these other resources that are out there that help people pass. So yeah, good luck.